Guys, welcome back to another video. If you haven't already, kindly subscribe, like, share with a friend. And today we're going to do something a bit different. As you can see, my hair is laid. I have just come from having an amazing shower. I'm heading out for I don't know, it's not an event. I'm going to shoot content for a brand that you guys have seen here before and that I absolutely love. And I decided, why not show you guys my makeup, because everybody's always asking me about my makeup routine on Instagram, here on YouTube. So I was like, might as well show you guys how I usually do it. Right now I'm just starting off. I already did my skincare. I usually prep my skin very well, extremely well. Good makeup will not good makeup requires good skincare. You have to prep your skin the night before and during the morning. So I've already made sure I have a super hydrating moisturizer. I have put on my sunscreen. Right now the weather in Nairobi is very glim, but you still need sunscreen because the rays still get through even when it's a dull cloudy day. So that's what we are doing. Normally I would usually start with my eyebrows, as I've said, and then I'd go into my eyes. And I wanted to show you guys, by the way, my makeup is usually very simple. I do the same makeup routine all the time. The only thing I change is probably my eye color or my lipstick. But even with my lipstick, I usually just have two different kinds of glosses, a nude one or a pink one. And if I want to change up the color, I'll do like a red because that looks really good on me. So I will go into eyes now. I usually have this very makeshift sellotape. It's the one that's like paper. I don't know if you guys can see that. Just handy. Normally you can use eye masks as well. You know, the eye masks that have like a curve, you can do that, but I've always used this. And normally I'll just do this, cut off two small sections and put them on my eyes. If you guys see me looking on the side, it's because I have a small mirror here just to guide me, because I am seated on my bed. So let me just put this on and then we can come back to doing the eye. Okay, and we are back. As you guys can see, I usually like to have like a wing dark shadow on the side, and because we are crunched for time, I do not have time to like clean up with concealer. I don't do like crazy stuff. So this is what is going to guide me with my eye makeup. So now I am going to start by applying some foundation. Now I know there are people who love to contour. I don't do crazy stuff. I just have learned what looks good on me and what works, and I just stick to that. I've stuck to that for a long time. So even when it comes to like concealer or contouring, I usually just use my foundation, because when it comes to I'll bring back the color with a blush and all of that. But I am going to be investing in more makeup towards the end of the year, because I'll be shopping. Well, I'll be somewhere and I'll be able to shop for all the brands that I want. But for now, we're just going to use what I've been using, so that you can see that you just need very minimal products to get that beautiful look that I usually have all the time. So for my foundation, I have been using the Fenty Beauty foundation for a long time. Actually, I've only used two foundations my whole life. I used to use Mary Kay when I was in uni, and then I transitioned to this Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear foundation in the shade 345. Now, I'm still looking for my perfect match. This is very close, but I do feel like I could do better when it comes to my match. So that's why I'd like to get more makeup later on. So what I'm going to do is just clean my areas so that it's a good foundation for the eye color that we're going to put on. Once we are done with that, I will make sure to powder before, because you need to set in every single creamy product that you have. This is another product I've been using for a very long time, since uni. This is the Fit Me Matte and Polish 12 Oil Control Maybelline powder. It's in the shade 350, and this is just what I use to just lock that in before I go in with color. We are crunched for time, so yeah. have this palette. This is actually new. Majority of this stuff is new. I got them back in November of 2025. This is the Ever Beauty Empowered palettes. I also make sure that all the colors, when it comes to any product that I'm using, are very much attuned to my undertone. So this has very rich colors. Normally I would do like a different palette, so I have this one. I don't even know what brand this is, but this is like more of a nude palette, and I'm going to be using it for the browns to create that warm like shade, dark shade for my wing. But to bring in that beautiful color, I want to just mix around and see what I can get. Normally I just use this or a dark, I don't know what to call this. It's like golden, but also like, is it maroonish, goldish kind of? So I usually love that kind of color. When it comes to my brushes, I have this cute Sharon brush set that I got as a gift from the Sharon. So very minimal for me. I just don't like doing too much. I just want minimal products, and that also falls in the category of my brushes. So I'm going to start off by creating a base with this brown for the entire lid. So let's do that. Normally I don't play around with color too much. I prefer nudes, and if I'm doing any color, it's usually that maroon. Well, it's not maroon, it's like a dark brown, like a brick, golden brick. So I'll usually just set that in to give it a nice base. I'm not much of a color person, and if I do color, it's usually very like subtle. So yeah, so let's go in with that, and I'll usually just put this at the center. I've just found like a clever way of doing a 3-tone color set, and that's just what I do all the freaking time. I found that it looks really good on me, and I stuck to what works for me, you know. Okay, so now that's set. I have seen a little cute pink right here, and I thought, I don't know, can you guys see? I saw this pretty pink, and I was like, it matches my dress, so let's see if I can add just a little shimmer at the top, because I also want to do like a soft pink lip. Okay, yeah, so that softens my golden brick color. And then a trick I like to go in just to highlight the middle is, I'll use a small brush for this, is I'll go in with a gold, this gold at the corner of my eyes to just brighten that area. Like I said, a 3-tone. So this is my second color coming in. I just feel like when you highlight the corner of your eyes, like it's so pretty. It gives it like a nice wow. Now the trick with eyeshadow is, and everything with makeup, blend as much as you can. You don't want any harsh lines. I'm done with that, so I'm going to go in with my dark colors, and I'm going to go in with the darkest one. They're browns. I try to stay away from black since it's not in my color palette, so they're not too dark, but I still want like a smoky kind of look at the end, because we want to add a bit of dimension on the eye. I will be going in with a kajal. This is a very old kajal pencil from MAC. As you can see, it's very used. Normally I wouldn't do I'd prefer a brown, but I'll show you how you can soften that. And I'll just go into my waterline so that my eyes like just don't disappear into the foundation and everything else going on. Okay, another thing you'll notice in this video is since we're doing the eyes, I don't do fake lashes at all. I have very long lashes, and I usually just use mascara on my lashes, but just to bring a bit more definition on the top, I'll just go in with that kajal at the top of my lid. Normally I'd be doing this like in the big mirror, but since I'm showing you guys, I just need a bit of it, and we're going to soften that with a dark brown, so it doesn't have to be perfect for now. Just get a bit of that dark color in there. Okay, so now that we've done the liner with the black, what I'd normally go in with is a small little brush. I'd go in with a smaller brush, and remember that dark color, that dark brown, this dark brown color that we used at the edge. I will just go in, I'll go in, get some, and just work that dark liner with a brown just to soften it, so that it looks like, you know, more of a brown smoke than a black eyeliner. And basically you're basically just blending it in so that you have a really soft line, really soft. Just blend that in, and then you can also go in and just clean up the edge again so that it looks like the eyeliner is going into the smoked line. Normally you can just go in as well with the color that you used at the top, at the bottom. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use the dark brown. Let me use the dark brown and just go in at the bottom as well and smoke that out. If you find that a black eyeliner is usually too dark for you, this is a good way to just smoke that out without doing too much. And it will make you, you know, look much softer than having a, you know, harsh smoke on your eye. I usually save mascara for the end, so at this point what I'll do, I'll go in and remove this so that you guys can see. You see that? It's already a clean line. Wow. So I won't have to clean up much. I just brush over this, whatever product was there, so that I can go in and clean up. Next, I would usually clean up my under eye, and I'll use the same foundation that I have. I've always just put my foundation, and at this point I just want to clean that up. Don't go too much into your eyeline because you don't want it to look, you don't want to have like wrinkles from having too much product. And as you can see, I put very little foundation on that. This is just to clean up, and I don't want too much foundation on there. Always start off with as little product as you can and then build up from there. I'm just going to add a bit more. Once I've cleaned up this area, it's easy for me to just use very minimal foundation, because this is the area that needed the most cleaning. Like I said, when you have good skincare, everything is pretty seamless. There we go. So we're going to just let that dry down a bit more and just go straight into foundation for the rest of the face. And then we'll come just blend it out a bit more. So normally I just use 2 pumps, not too much. As you can see, my skin is fairly in really good condition, so I usually don't have to use too much. And this is a buildable foundation, so you can start off with as little as you can, and come in later with a better cleanup if you want more foundation. But normally I just really like a very minimal foundation. I like to also blend out into my neck so that I don't have any harsh lines whatsoever. Really happy with that. And then we'll go back into my Maybelline Fit Me powder and just clean that up. I'd usually start with the eyes, under the eyes, just to finish off, just to lock in whatever we had under the eyes. Just very minimal. And then I'd go into the rest of the face just to set everything in. Okay. And then also just like to go into the eyebrow as well, so that it doesn't have like too much of a dewy finish. You can go into the highline just to blend that in a bit more. I'd set my baby hair before, so you don't want it to look a bit weird. And literally that's it for my foundation process. I need to get new blush. Like I said, I'll be getting new makeup at the end of the year, but right now I've been using this Goldie that, as you can see, has been in great use. I have really used it for a long time. It's around nude eyeshadow palette. I don't even think they make this anymore. As you can see, I have literally finished off. You can see these are my favorite colors. I use this to, so you can use it as eyeshadow, but I like having products that I can use as eyeshadow and blush and highlighter at the same time. So this has everything I would use for my eyes, blush, if I don't have any other palette. So I like to go in with like a dark, not a dark, like a deep warm brown normally. So I'll just go in and into the product. I love blush, but as I said, start off by building up. Don't use too much product at first. I usually just start off very minimal and then I'll build up from there. And then I usually like to go to my temple as well, just blend that out. Like I said, harsh lines I do not like. And normally this is how I would usually bring back, a bit of color and depth into my face, because if you just use foundation, it's easy to get like it's easy to look flat. So this will be my way of like contouring but also adding blush at the same time. Okay, there we go. I think that's perfect. Why not use contour? It's just something I've never done, and I found that this way works for me, so I just stuck to it. And since I get so many compliments on my makeup, I realized that nobody really knows whether you've contoured or not. If you know what works for you, works for you. So I'll go in with a highlighter from the same palette. And just go onto my cheeks and just bring back shimmer, especially since I'm going to be on camera. I want to like shine. Just I put a bit too much there, so I'm going to come in on this side as well. if you feel like it's gone overboard, I usually like to go in with my foundation stick, foundation brush, and then just brush off any excess, just like that. The key is to blend out as much as you can. Whoop. Did I cover you guys? Yeah, then you can go out with your blush brush and just put back that pink inside there. Another little trick I like to add is with my small spoolie is I'll go right into my nose. Just like that. The whole thing about contouring and, you know, highlighting is knowing like where light hits your highest points on your face. So that's why I don't even contour, because as long as I know where to highlight, that's enough for me. I usually like to go into my Cupid's bow, just to give it like a little shimmer. So you can just brush that out as much as you can, and that's it for blush and highlighter. At this point, I will go in and do my mascara. This is my favorite mascara from Maybelline, the Colossal, 100% black. You can go brown, but I find that this gives quite the definition for me when it comes to my eyelashes. So yeah, so I'll just go in first with the lower lash. There we go. So I usually do one stroke first and allow one side to dry down before I go in with another. Let me move closer to you guys. Let me move closer before I go in with another stroke. So then I'll go back to the other side. My eyelashes are very, very long, so I necessarily don't even need, see that? I literally don't need any extra lashes. I'm also just very anti, especially the fake eyelashes that last for weeks. I'm scared like they'll damage my natural lashes, so I've just never like tried them out. I'm not willing to like find out. So once that's done, I'll go in and do my top base, and I'll do the same technique, fast stroke from the inside, and then I'll go up outside. So I need to teach you my flicker, because this is something my friends ask me all the time on how my mascara just turns out so good. So normally I'd start from the inner side. All right, and once that's coated, I will start from the bottom, and I'll just like flick a bit at the bottom. You want to coat at the bottom as much as you can, and then I'll go into the rest of the length of the eyelash. So flick at the bottom, then swish, flick at the bottom, swish, and then don't forget to coat the top of the eyelashes as well. So that's usually my first round, and then I'll go in and do the second side as well. So like I said, the inner part first. Once that's coated, flick at the bottom, then swish up, flick at the bottom and swish up, and then just coat the rest of the length of the eyelash. If you make any mistake with mascara, do not worry, just leave it to dry down completely, and then I'll show you guys how I'll clean up. Okay, so that's usually my first coat, and then I'll usually go in with an extra coat to give that falsy look. All right. This I don't have to flick at the bottom, it's just for the length. Remember to coat the length of the eyelash completely. I love that. And then do the second side as well, just the length. You don't need to flick at the bottom anymore. You can apply as much mascara as you want. I just usually do the 2 coats, and I make sure I coat the top as well. All right, do you see that? Looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. Alrighty, so now that we're done with that, remember I told you to just let the mascara dry down. Usually I'd go in with my little spoolie that I use for my eyebrows, and it's easier to remove any extra mascara when it has already dried down, and just very lightly just flick it away. Yeah, and that's it for my eyes. Lip gloss, I usually use the same lip gloss, and I'm going to mention both of them because I get this question all the freaking time. My favorite lip glosses at the moment and what I use every day are from Shop New Level. This is a Kenyan brand, and normally I use this coral peach color. It's so beautiful. It's a perfect nude for me. It's called Shade Thick. Can you guys see that? But I got recently I got a pink version of the same butter lip gloss, and this is in the shade peaches. They have 2 pinks. This is the warmer version, and they have a cooler tone as well. And I'll usually line my lips with the Davis lip liner. This is in 50. This is a perfect nude for me. It's like a peachy nude color, and I just find it to be so perfect. I've had this for like maybe a year and a half now, and it's still quite handy. So I'll usually just line my lips before I go in with any of the lip glosses. So that once that's done, I'll usually just mark my lips to clean out the lip liner. Remember, we don't want any harsh lines on any of our makeup. Okay, just clean that up, and then I will go in, because we are wearing pink, I will go in with the pink peaches shade of lip gloss. My lips are very full, and I find that this just brings out, you know, the shape of my lips. Perfecto. Now, as you've noticed, I did not use a primer. Normally I would suggest that please use a primer, and this is something I used to use, but my product went out, so I will be getting a new primer, a hydrating primer. But since I'd already taken care of my skincare so well, I'd prepped the night before, and I did my skincare, my hydrating skincare before I put on my makeup, I have a good base. But I have to lock this in, and I use this Maybelline Fit Me. This is in the matte and poreless finish, because I am oily skin. As you've noticed, I've used a lot of powder products because I have a normal to oily skin base, and I usually don't like to look too glossed out. But this is a product that has helped keep my makeup set for hours when I go for events, when I go out, wherever I am, and I have been using this for years. So I'll just go in. Make sure you close your eyes. You don't want this in your eyes. This is a good place if you have one of those cute little fans. You can use it to like dry down. I'm just fanning around my eyes because that's why I want to dry out, so that you guys can see my full face. Woo. So that's going to dry down. It gives it like this beautiful glowy matte finish. Yeah, and guys, that's all I do for my makeup. Normally this is usually my simple makeup routine. Once I found a process, I do not like changing it if it's working, and this has been working for a very good time. Like I said, I usually just change up the color on my eyes and my lips, but even with that, there are only like 3 shades of lipsticks I use and a certain color that I go for on my eyes, but not too much, just subtle, beautiful, and I think this will look really good. So I will try come back. I'm gonna come back and just show you guys how I look with the full everything going on. But yeah, so that's my simple makeup routine. If you have any questions, please ask in the comment section, and like I said, please subscribe. It's really motivating me and pushing me to create more videos. And yeah, so thank you guys for being here as always. Until the next time.